Welcome student. Standard 7th, first chapter, Geometrical Construction. If you see first part, this is the second part. If you see first part, you can see the description given below this video, and there is a link of first part of this chapter. Click on it and you can see the first part of this chapter. In this chapter we learned about second property. In the first part we learned about angle bisector, the property of the angle bisector of triangle, and in this part we learn about perpendicular bisector of line segment and the property of perpendicular bisector of sides of a triangle. We study perpendicular bisector of line segment in previous class, but here if we study the property, it is necessary to study first perpendicular, how to draw perpendicular bisector. Here segment length of segment AB is 8 cm, and here line PQ is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. Length of segment AB is 8 cm and line PQ divides this segment into two equal parts, that is AM and MB is equal to 4 cm. And if you measure the angle PMB using protractor, the measurement of this angle is also 90 degree. From that we say line PQ is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. Now student, this is the theoretical explanation. Now practically we see how to draw perpendicular bisector of a line segment in this video. Now let's see. Friends, let's see how to draw the perpendicular bisector of a segment using compass and scale. First we draw the length of segment having length 8 cm. When we use scale, always start from 0, otherwise your measurement is wrong. So we start from 0 and draw a segment which having length 8 cm. Segment AB having length 8 cm. Now with this compass I draw perpendicular bisector of this segment. Take greater than half of length of AB. Take a distance between these 2 points greater than half of AB, length of AB. This is the greater than half of length of AB. Now put this iron point at point A and draw an arc above and below the segment AB. Above and below on the segment AB. Now taking same distance, put an end of compass at point B and draw arc which intersect the previous arc which draw before we get point above and below the AB segment AB. We give the name PQ and now joint point P and Q. Now I give this point name M. When where line PQ intersect segment AB, I give the name that point M. Now our perpendicular bisector is ready. Now how will you verify that line PQ is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB? For this we use this scale and measure the distance AM. Length of AM is 4 centimeter. You can see length of AM is 4 centimeter and length of MB or BM is also 4 centimeter. This is 4 centimeter and this also 4 centimeter. From that we can say line PQ divides segment AB into two equal parts. So this is the perpendicular bisector of segment AB. Thank you. Students, we learn about how to draw perpendicular bisector of line segment. To learn this property, first we draw any triangle, that is here we draw triangle X, Y, Z, and we draw perpendicular bisector of all three sides of this triangle. If we draw these perpendicular bisector, we can see what happen. The perpendicular bisector, all three perpendicular bisectors pass through the same point, and the point is, we give the name C. And from that we can say these perpendicular bisectors of a triangle are concurrent. We see the definition of concurrent line in the previous video or in the first part and in the or in the previous class also in standard 6th. Here I can say again the concurrent line, definition of concurrent line, because you are understanding. If when two or more lines intersect in a single point, then that lines are called concurrent line, and that single point where the line intersect that point is called concurrent points or point of concurrence. Here in this figure, all three perpendicular bisectors intersect in a single point, that is they are concurrent, and this point is called point of concurrence. Here point C is the point of concurrence and is called circumcenter, and it is denoted by the letter C. Here one point is to be noted. What is the point? The point of concurrence of the perpendicular bisector of the sides of triangle, acute angle triangle, is in the interior of the triangle. Here name of type of triangle is necessary, because if we draw perpendicular bisectors of all three types of triangle based on angle, what are they? Three types of triangle based on angle. They are acute angle triangle, right angle triangle, and obtuse angle triangle. Here is acute angle triangle. So perpendicular bisectors are concurrent, and their concurrents are in the interior of triangle, because this triangle is acute angle triangle, and the point of concurrence of perpendicular bisectors of sides of acute angle triangle is in the interior of the triangle. If the triangle is acute or right angle triangle, what happen? We see after this point. If we measure the distance between point C and these three vertices, that is, if we measure distance Cx, Cy and Cz, the distance is equal. From that we say three vertices of triangle are equidistant from point of concurrence or circumcenter of this triangle. Now if we draw or if we learn this property about obtuse angle triangle, now you can see here this angle is obtuse angle triangle, and we can draw all three sides perpendicular bisectors. We draw perpendicular bisector of all three sides. Here is also I give the name this triangle XYZ. If we draw perpendicular bisectors of all sides of this obtuse angle triangle, what we see here? We see that the point of concurrence C, that is circumcenter. C for circumcenter, that is why we give the name, or circumcenter is shown by the letter C. The point of concurrence C, that is circumcenter of the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of obtuse angle triangle, is, where is? It is in the exterior of triangle. You can see the circumcenter is in the exterior of. Now if this property is study about right angle triangle, if we draw the perpendicular bisector of the sides of right angle triangle, what happen? The perpendicular bisectors of the sides of right angle triangle are also concurrent. In all three types, the perpendicular bisectors are concurrent, but the circumcenter's place of circumcenter is changed. Here the point of concurrence C, that is circumcenter, lies at the midpoint of the hypotenuse. You can see in this figure, here is right angle triangle PQR, and if you draw perpendicular bisector of this triangle, they are concurrent, and the point C is called point of concurrence, and this point is called circumcenter, and it is denoted by C. Therefore we give the name C. So in the right angle triangle, the circumcenter lies at the midpoint of the hypotenuse. In this way, students, we learn about the property, the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle are concurrent, and their point of concurrence is called circumcenter, and it is shown by the letter C, or it is denoted by the letter C. Now students, if you study the first property, you can see the first part. I say before start this video, you can see the first part also, and if you like this video, like it, share it and subscribe it, and don't forget to click on bell icon, because if you click on that bell icon, you get notification about uploading new video on my channel. So do this all, and goodbye.